Love Warham's on TV, bows and big old trees, and twins. It's a frigid day in the snows of the chill flow. Wood Elves and Greenskins with the clan war brewing between XMT and ODM. Really interesting look at a common matchup at higher levels of play right now and how the meta's developed to suit each faction's needs. We got great stags and giant river troll hags with a bunch of absurdly obese creatures, cooling off as the blizzard heads their way. XMT Killerinu commands the Azrai, ODM Hanadins controls the Greenskins, and we'll see if Groby Gluttony and Monstrous Muscle can overpower the precision and patience of the Wood Elves. So for the Knife Ears, we're looking at a very meta build led by the Sisters of Twilight. Naestra and Arahan can be a force in this matchup, typically riding Gwendolyn the Eagle and forgoing the more expensive Seth and Har the Forest Dragon. Conjoined Destiny is a huge deal for them, allows them to be much more aggressive than most of their lords, and they can sit in the pocket trading HP to ensure the important enemy units are taken out early. Doesn't matter if they get low, they'll get half their HP back instantly. And then you combine that with Gwendolyn's Vantage and the Talon of Dawn, which sunders armor. The twins can often just perch on top of an enemy lord or hero and keep shooting until they're dead. Well, at least against factions that don't have fantastic shooting. Greenskins certainly do not. Deepwood Scouts in the vanguard, supported by a Waystalker, bunch of Glade Riders, Dryads, Eternal Guard, and a Spellsinger of the Lore of Life. Only spell is Regrowth. And hiding all the way in the back of the map are the Lost Sylvan Knights, the Ghosts of Great Stag Past. They are an exceptional unit in certain scenarios, capable of carrying battles almost single-handedly if an opponent doesn't game plan for them. But the mechanics that counter Ghosts tend to be the same mechanics that counter Wood Elves in general, so if you aren't prepared for them, you probably just deserve to lose. They hit very hard and have a bigger HP pool than most other ethereals, so you want magic damage to kill them quickly, which used to not be in abundant supply for the Greenskins, but over the years they've gotten much better at dealing with the spookies and scaries. So that is why far across this frozen tundra, the Giant River Troll Hags have come out to play. They bring tons of utility to the battlefield as somewhat tanky casters with regen, good lore of magic, and many useful abilities. An aspect of the Dread Knight is a big one here. It's a spammable spell that grants magic damage for cutting through physical resist, and just as importantly, can make a unit cause terror and become immune to terror as well, which can potentially change fights in late game scenarios. Of course, Mither is fantastic too, slowing enemy cav or lords, and then there's the overwhelming odor that lowers enemy melee attack as well. The other Troll Hag, though, has Spirit Leech, which is a clear attempt at countering the Sisters and Lost Sylvan Knights. Consistent magic damage that will drain the life of high-value targets throughout the course of a battle. To round out this extremely attractive trio of fatties, Grom the Paunch rides his Resplendent Wolf Chariot with his Lucky Banner, melee attack buffs, and Language of Du Bois. Definitely a powerful Greenskins lord. He's been at the top of the meta for the Greenskins for quite a while now. Besides the Goon Squad, though, it's Gobos and Orc Boys in the front, Spider Rider and Wolf Archers on the flanks, and Big Guns as the main punching power, which are very good against Wood Elves. Huge HP pool of 8,000 plus, decent stats, and they hit like a Mack truck, especially when Wa is active. Not too many Azrai units want to fight them head on. Now, as the battle gets underway, Spider Rider is just evaporating as Deepwood Scouts make their presence known. Beautiful volley to get things kicked off, and important to do so because you don't want light cav running roughshod in your back lines once melee is joined. Need to keep those archers safe, so any spiders or wolves that die means one less to tie them down later in the battle. But the Greenskins have one major issue to deal with right now, and that is the fact that the twins can sit on top of these troll hags and wreck their pretty little faces, which is why I think Vindictive Glare is important against the Wood Elves. When you overcast that from a Goblin Shaman, it wrecks eagles, and would successfully zone out the twins much quicker than Spirit Leech ever could. So Spirit Leech is a fantastic spell here, don't get me wrong, but a bonus for Storage Magic Missile would go a long way in making sure what's happening right now would not happen in the future. For the Giant River Troll Hag, her regen will certainly help, but there is no chance it will out-heal the burst damage coming her way, so this trade will certainly favor the Wood Elves. Good on Killerino for recognizing it and recognizing that he can just move on top of the army and start shooting. Glade Riders are going right up the center into the middle of the Gobos, and Orc Boys just stuffing them up, giving the Deepwood Scouts a little bit more time to skirmish and get some of that focus fire in on the infantry, because they want to deal as much damage as possible to those big guns before they close the gap. The Wood Elves have nothing on the field right now that can deal with big guns, except for the Great Stags. They need to make sure they shoot them, because once in melee, the Dryads and the Eternal Guard will melt away, which is by far the Greenskins' biggest advantage right now. Even though Dryads will crump Orc Boys and Gobos, their melee troops on the whole are significantly better for the Greenskins and should be able to break this coming melee engagement wide open, which will open up avenues for the Light Cav to kill the Deepwood Scouts. Wood Elves are making good use of their time though. Already a Troll Hag running for the hills, and she only got one Spirit Leech off so far, so if the twins can kill her before any more spells are sent their way, that will be a super nice start to the battle. Very aggressive Light Cab play coming out of the Azrai right now too. One more Spirit Leech did get sent outwards from that Troll Hag, so Sisters will drop to about half HP, but again, they're not worried about it because of that conjoined destiny. So what you can see from Killerino right now is that he's using his Glade Riders to just stuff up the entire assault. Doesn't really care if they die. They only cost 550 gold. You might as well send them into the teeth of the enemy formation and just use them to slow everything down and get more of this focus fire in. You can see a full unit of big guns are almost dead now. More Light Cav has been shish kebab by all the incoming volleys, and the Azrai are feeling themselves. But this is a fairly typical start in that any faction, not just the Greenskins, should expect to lose some troops against the Azrai before bringing them to blows. Most of the big guns, besides the one unit, should make it in relatively unscathed, and against Dryads and Eternal Guard, unlike their Orc Boy counterparts, they'll have a field day, stomping on some knife-ear heads. And Dryads, well, their bark is worse than their bite. I'm sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. So yeah, Dryads, they'll beat the brakes off of Orc Boys, no problem at all. And we're going to see that here right in the center. I mean, they're just going to absolutely destroy them. But besides that, now the big guns are closing in, things will start shifting back towards the Greenskins' favor. Some really good focus fire coming in from Killerino, though. He's messing up a lot of these units out on the flanks, too, and the Eternal Guard are charging in. Nice flank attack on the Dryads from Hanadins, which the flankers are now being outflanked by more Eternal Guard, who in turn might be outflanked by Light Cav, so we'll see how that develops. Mither going down on the Glade Riders in the center from the Giant River Troll Hag, making sure their mobility is cut down by 60%. And Wa is active now. Watch the Greenskins turn this melee engagement heavily in their favor while that is active. And as if on cue, the Lost Sylvan Knights, the Great Stags, have come out of their hiding spot and are looking to make a big ol' impact amongst the big guns here. So, I love that patience. I love that play from the Wood Elves. You want to make sure that the magic damage components of your enemy's army are done with, or taken off the field, or taken out of the battle before you show your trump card. And a lot of players would kind of show the Great Stag's hand early, and sure, they might deal some good damage at the start, but your opponent would then have a chance to react. Right now, all of his troops are committed. He can't spare anything over on the side to deal with the terror they're about to imbue on his right flank, and so they're going to get free charges over there and start causing havoc. And more importantly, they have a ton of speed. They don't have to just stay over there. They can swing from the middle to the flanks and back to the middle again, charging and causing havoc all across the battlefield. So the mayhem they're unleashing now, well, you're going to see it. It's potent. It's what makes this unit so good. It's not just that they hit incredibly hard, it's that they move like Light Cav and cause terror as they do it. Not a lot of units can make that kind of impact in the way the Lost Sylvan Knights can against a faction that is kind of susceptible to terror. And yeah, the Giant River Troll Hag, the one with aspect of the Dread Knight, which he did give to Grom the Paunch right now, so Lost Sylvan Knights took a ton of damage there. Really nice play to counteract what could have been truly disastrous for the Greenskins, but they're still going to feel it, because they lost their second River Troll Hag, the first having been hunted off the map by Gwendolor and the twins who are returning now. You can see how brutal magic damage is as a counter to the Great Stags, though, and why they felt compelled to wait so long to play their hand and show that they had that unit. Because Grom, on a chariot, with aspect of the Dread Knight, chunked them down to half HP real fast when he was given that magic damage. They're hurting right now, but they're also wrecking a lot of the Light Cav, fully tied down by Orc Boys and stuff, but all these units are about to rout, and there's still a Spellsinger alive that has regrowth. Grom coming through with a huge charge, slicing through the Deepwood Scouts, and If he has but a couple seconds, he could probably round off some of these archers. A lot of them have already fired all their ammunition, though, which goes a long way in telling you how the Wood Elves have approached this skirmish phase. Waystalker holding out against the big guns for now. Not sure how long he'll be able to survive fully surrounded like that. The Great Stags always have the opportunity to come in and turn the fight. So we'll see how they do here moving into the mid to late stages of this battle. We're about 6 minutes in. Balance of power is even, but the Sisters are alive, and the River Troll Hags are not. So now, heals being sent the way of the Lost Sylvan Knights. Gwendolyn has the pick of the litter in terms of engagements as Naestra and Arahan fire in with their Talon of Dawn, sundering the armor of Grom's Wolf Chariot. But he's still a huge issue. He's mostly full HP, he's got regen, he's got powerful dueling potential for a Chariot. I mean, I don't know why he's so good at dueling, but he certainly is. He would wreck Naestra and Arahan, and perhaps more importantly, if she lands at the wrong time, they could die before Conjoined Destiny actually goes off. So, see if that happens. For now, the Lost Sylvan Knights just causing all kinds of carnage over on the flank, and their cycle charging will continue to be a big problem into the late game if the Greenskins can't find a way to deal with them. Now, if you're the Wood Elves, you don't feel the need to land Naestra and Arahan at the moment, and I think that's a risky play right now, especially with big guns nearby. If she landed or did any kind of attack animation that carried her into the center of that infantry formation, with Grom beaten on her, yeah, she could get bursted before the heal came in, and that could kind of throw the game, so you gotta be careful with that. I would say Wood Elves definitely have a distinct advantage at the moment, but they still have a lot they have to worry about, and Grom is number 1 on that list. Remember that big guns have 42 weapon damage and WA. So when Grom is imbuing them with that immune to psychology and fighting alongside with the language of the boys, they can beat up on Lost Sylvan Knights too, who only have 4,000 HP. The 75% of physical resistance is great. It will definitely help in a long dragon out fight with big guns. But if they're not terror routing, Lost Sylvan Knights can take a lot of damage in a dragon out fight with them, so definitely have to be careful. But yeah, he's playing smart now, tying down Grom. Was active. The Great One is here, is active as well, plus 24 melee attack, now up to 90 MA. Yeah, Lost Sylvan Knights don't want any part of that, but they don't need to. They can just charge everything else, and quickly, I would say this is getting out of hand for the Greenskins. Wow. They're gonna need a miracle to crawl their way back into this one, even with Grom regenning and the fact that he would absolutely poop on the twins. Quite literally, it doesn't matter if the Lost Sylvan Knights won't die, and at the moment they're showing no signs of slowing down. Double regrowth has been sent their way, they're back up to half HP, and I think they could solo carry this game by themselves now. With that said, Grom is still pimping, Grom is still styling, and he does not want to give up yet. He's still got some big gun support. Although bonus first large would certainly hurt the Lost Sylvan Knights, it would certainly hurt the Great Eagle, Gwendolyn. Surrounded now by Glade Riders, Waystalker coming in, and he's bouncing from unit to unit and smacking stuff around like the big boss is meant to do. But a couple more shots from the Talon should cause a mass rout, and that will be the end of the game. Very well played from XMT Kill Reno and ODM Hanadins. It's honestly a perfect showcase of what the Wood Elves can do in this particular matchup. And I loved 2 specific plays that Killerino made here. Putting Gwendolyn on top of the Giant River Troll Hags right away, making sure he prioritized the Spirit Leech Hag and got her off of the field early, changed the complexion of the game. Because it meant that the Spirit Leech couldn't keep getting sent her way and pop that Conjoined Destiny early. That was a big one. The fact that he recognized he could do that and outlive any kind of focus fire coming his way was definitely very nice. The other play was being super patient with the Great Stags. He didn't play that card early. He waited for a perfect moment to strike when everything else was tied down, and immediately when they charged in, they started just messing stuff up. And there really wasn't an answer at that point to slow them down enough. And the one that was there immediately got destroyed when the Stags surrounded the second Giant River Troll Hag and killed her off. For Hanadins, he clearly had a good build. He clearly went into this game realizing that Gwendolyn and that the Great Stag Lost Sylvan Knights could be a major threat. He had plenty of magic damage. He had plenty of ways to deal with them. I will say, and what we saw there, I think that a Goblin Shaman with Vindictive Glare would have given him more punch to make sure the Sisters just effed off and went somewhere else. The fact they were able to sit on top of the first Troll Hag was definitely the biggest issue. Spirit Leech doesn't deal enough burst damage. If you have Overcast Vindictive Glare, I think you have the ability to make sure that they go somewhere else. They can't just shoot your casters. You have a lower profile, so you don't just get shot up by that armor-piercing, armor-sundering bow. And I think that he has a better shot to pop Conjoined Destiny early, force them to ground, and win that melee fight convincingly if he has a different caster. I think that's the only change I'd really make in that build. And I mean, these guys are competitive players, so it's entirely possible that I'm incorrect in that assumption. But every time I have seen Vindictive Glare brought against the Azrai, it does work against the low armor and large targets of the Wood Elves. So, interesting game nonetheless. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.